Fuck, third part not gonna happen. It's like where are all the details?
Do the third part with the without the fucking what's that called? The grip down where you do the ring finger grip.
The rodent.
Yeah.
So in our version.
Well, what's the right way to do it?
The rodent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way I play it.
Right. Yeah. A couple of us do, but most people don't. So there you go, everybody. There's our simplified version of Lock Inside, which I can't do on the fly, apparently.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 175 of the Chanaran Podcast. My name is Josh. With me, as always, is my bearded co-host, Mr. Andy Fugo.
That is I.
And if you didn't know, I'm here to let you know that this show will feature some salty language. So you got 5 seconds to go listen to something else. You can check out the USPBA Southern Branch podcast of episode 1, apparently, because they're poaching our goddamn sponsors. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fuck.
Fuck you, Kenny.
And, you can review the show on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts. Send us a screenshot of your review. We'll send you a sticker. And the sticker will include the simplified version of Lock Inside. printed on the back. You can send us emails and voicemails to be played on air. You can like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or if you're Australian, Snapchat. Check us out the Chanter Rant store at chanterrant.com. Last but not least, this episode is brought to you by who, Fusco?
Who's it this week? Johnny's Anal
It's our
Beats.
patrons. and also Johnny's Anal Beats. Those wonderful people who sign up at patreon.com/Chanarant to keep these lights on.
Yeah, even though we gave this away for free today, but that's okay.
Andy Fucko.
That's my name.
Odd open.
Son of a bitch. You know what really sticks a service band in my otherwise brilliant funeral service?
What's that, Sco?
When you talk shit about the other band in town and not
immediately have to play a
week
gig
later,
with them?
I got to play a gig with them that I was not told they were going to be there. Less than a week later, like, oh no, we'll tell that story. And we have clips.
It feels like you ever had the occasion where like you're with a girl and she tells you like, man, I have never come that hard in my life, and then you have to interact with her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, what an awkward situation that puts you in. Especially when you can't even play a simplified Lock Inside.
No. We're horrible human beings, mostly because of the Lock Inside bit. But
well, you know what they say on the pipe tune? It's Lock Inside. After the gig, it's liquor side.
Oh, I see. I see where you're going with this.
Sorry, guys. Fusco's both hungover and possibly still drunk. I don't know.
It's possible.
It's
been a long day.
You might be somewhere in between.
Holy moly.
What time did you actually clock out last night, bud?
What time did you leave?
Like fucking 1:30.
Was it that late? So probably 2. It was similar to you, I would imagine.
I was the third wheel real quick.
Well, we spent a good couple hours there doing nothing.
Well, we were just like sitting, drinking, and like having banter, and then as soon as there was everyone realizing that last call was coming, and they were all trying to get laid.
Is there a last call at that place?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say what? Yeah, all the dudes started coming up to me like, "Hey, it's my last chance." I go,
closing time.
Oh, there's no closing time at the Huntridge.
Yeah, no, it was a 24-hour bar, but I was just like, oh, like Fusco actually might get some play. I'm gonna fuck right off.
You should know better than that. It doesn't happen. It's all stories. It's all lies.
Hey, that dude had some pretty good tits.
Yeah, he was very handsome woman.
What was the comment I made before we started recording? It was an Adam's apple as big as his cock.
Oh, yeah. There's an interesting crowd at the old HT last night.
But good times, good sesh,
Yeah.
decent music. Like no one was playing anything horrible.
Yeah,
it wasn't karaoke night, so I'll take that.
Yeah, absolutely. I had zero intention of getting hammered, but that's these things. That's the way these things go.
You had zero intention. You had 100% execution.
That is very true. Oh my God, you fucking hell, man.
You were the Simone Biles of getting hammered last night.
Oh, jeez.
You did it. You nailed it.
I did a triple somersault right into the old whiskey bottle.
Yeah, triple somersault right into a glass of Jameson.
Holy shit! You start me down that Jameson train, and oh my God, I just gotta quit the whiskey. I think that's the key.
That's yeah. I mean, maybe I would say quit the dick, but that's.
Oh yeah, so that's why my voice is much lower today, because I spent a little bit of time throwing up today.
This is why the podcast was slightly delayed.
It was delayed. I could not get out of bed except to throw up, but eventually I did. Played a funeral today. It was the worst.
I cannot believe you actually made it to it.
I can't believe I made it either. Hey, I totally big leagued this guy when I was there.
We're talking about whether or not you were hanging or still drunk. I guarantee at your gig you were still drunk.
I would think so, because I was spinning. Who knows? The head was spinning for sure. So, and I'm wondering, man, I wonder if they can smell whiskey on me. I'm sure I'm oozing it. You know what I mean? I mean, I
just sweating booze.
That's what I wonder. But nobody said anything. And it was a Clark County Fire Department person's funeral. And
they're not going to know. They're used to hehearing shitty bagpipes.
So, they don't even have any pipers, Clark County. So, well, not really. So they did a full honor guard and stuff. So I talked to those guys. They were nice. But
don't even want to learn to play.
They mentioned it afterwards. The guy came up to me. He's like, "Hey, can I have your number? I have more funerals coming up, and
buddy,
we have people that want to learn how to play.
Come to practice, you dickhead.
Well, not him, but
just any of them. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I see bodies, dude. We're talking. We talked yesterday about a concert that's 2 months away, and I have not had to use two hands to count the amount of people at practice in 6 months
in a long time.
Yeah, so maybe. How the And as much as I appreciate it, because you and the rest of the board have done an amazing job of getting things set up and taking care of shit without having to really bug me about shit at all. Mm-hmm. You guys have done amazing, but I'm also man, I've been to every practice for 6 months and I haven't had to use two hands to count yet. And realistically, I should have to take off my shoes.
You would hope so. Yeah, it could be a problem. I don't know. You asked me to name the players for the concert last night, and without looking through the list, I can only remember the people I've seen, which is 4 people.
Yeah, you were well, me and you and the drum and the two drummers.
I guess we're gonna do an hour and a half concert just for 4 of us.
I was like, bro. I've got some legitimate concerns.
Yeah, we got. I don't know. There's some other fairly consistent people. Lauren's been reasonably consistent. Daniela.
Oh yeah,
Bill.
dude. It's so good to see them again. And actually have people be working on music. Granted, I'm still gonna bitch about all the people that were working on music on this episode.
Sure. You mean reading it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna bitch about everybody in our band.
Sure. Well, that's why we have this. What else do we do?
As much as I love all of them, and as much as it brings me joy to actually get to hang out and play music with my friends, still not good enough. So guess what? Coach Josh is here, and he's not stoked on your progress, kids.
Just memorize the damn music,
dude. I would love to bitch about it taking over a month for pipers to learn 2 tunes they should already know.
Well, one of them, Cast Dangerous, we've played before.
But I can't bitch about it because apparently fucking drummers need 7 years to learn the same 5 tunes in the medley.
What are you talking about? They know the medley. The 2 snare drummers do.
All the time we're oh, well, let's do fucking Highland Cathedral again. It's no, let's not.
No. I think he was asking because he was do you want to let Mia do it? Give Mia something to do is what he was asking.
Yeah, but how does she not know the rest of the fucking music? She's been in the band since she was an amoeba.
She is, they are on a long road for sure. The medley and stuff is quite complicated. They won't have it by next year for sure. You won't even be able to technically play it.
Tell me the fucking complication between whether or not you hit something with your left hand or your right hand.
Try it. Try to play a drum score. Good luck.
I'm gonna have to get proven wrong on this just because I'm so confused.
I would take a month of snare drum lessons.
It's
Show
like
up
you
at
guys-
6 o'clock. Take lessons with Mike for a month, and see.
You guys have a note that's on the top of the line and a note that's on the bottom of the line,
Correct.
and that's literally it. Not 9 notes.
Nope.
Not embellishments.
Left and right. But there is dynamics, I guess. You got to deal with that, I suppose. And you should do it. Take on the challenge.
Well, I think
Not the bass drum challenge, the snare drum challenge.
Well, yeah, I'm going to start with the bass drum challenge for sure because I was very inspired by our conversation with JD.
Yeah, you might want to enter some solo contests.
I think it would be fun to enter some. I mean, I gotta have the drum anyway.
Yeah, you might as well do
Might
something.
as well play with it. It's always fun to play. I have never had a time where I was like, "Hey, Josh, can you play bass?" And I was like, "Nah, bass, fuck that." Like I'm always just like, "Yeah, it's fun."
Yeah. Yeah, no, the bass drum's fun. Carrying the thing sucks.
Could that be my gateway drug
Summer
into
Parade,
Scottish snare?
Could be. I don't know. They're very different. Super, super different. But I don't know. I would try it. I would try the snare. See how hard or easy it is.
Dude, I would.
Can you do this? Now add flams.
Okay.
There you go. You're a drummer.
Yeah.
You can play the solo for the concert at Highland Cathedral.
I mean, I only had to learn. Let's see.
Which we're not
what's
gonna do.
my drumming experience? You taught me to play kit for one song in the rock band days. I think it was like Mother, because you sang that one.
Right. I thought. Did you?
I played it until the day of, and then Jesse played it.
That's right. That's right. You're right.
But
Okay.
all the practices, I played that one.
That's right. Well, that's a relatively easy song, but still, drums at four limbs. Doing
Start
things.
me easy, dude. Trust me. Start me easy. We don't, I'm already bad at bagpipes, and I've been doing that for 20 years.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So, let's see where we're going to next here.
Well, you were knocking out these show notes.
Yeah, I did a terrible job other than create them.
Well, let's talk about some recent times.
Okay.
So you had a big Las Vegas bagpiper video in Bullhead.
Oh yeah.
you
So that's
wanna-
part of
do you
our
wanna talk about that a little
win,
bit?
fail, try, or win, fail, and fail worse concept that I came up with today.
Win, fail worse.
Exactly.
So once I say we could get right into it. We could talk about some of
Yeah.
these things because we on the last episode we were shit talking service bands pretty heavily.
We were
Just because of like the
local funeral.
and the trash music that they bring to moments that should have a level of respect and deference.
Sure.
So how's that evolved, Sco?
So interesting story. Funny story. Funny enough. This funeral was let's see, what's today? Fucking Saturday. So this is
Today
like a
is
week ago Thursday. So they hired me to drive out to Bullhead City, which is about 2 hours from here, to play a funeral for a police lieutenant that passed away due to COVID complications. He was not on the job per se, but he was still
get your shots, kids.
Yeah. So, and as far as I know, they hired me to do the whole thing. You know, I got a call from the funeral home, and that's the way it all went down. So I show up there. I get there 8 o'clock in the morning. They asked me to come an hour early so they can go over some stuff an hour earlier than they wanted me originally. So I showed up at 8 o'clock, and so the woman's like taking me through stuff. She's like, all right, she had a piece of paper with everything, all the run a show, if you will, on there. It's like, you're going to be the very first thing. You're starting. So can you play something, nice and somber, but not Amazing Grace? And she says, because we're playing Amazing Grace later or something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, I know that because I'm doing it, but okay, sure. I wouldn't do it twice, but okay. And then she's like scrolling. She's like, all right, you do this. And then right after you, the Emerald Society is going to play and come out with the casket. I'm like, what?
Record scratch.
I'm like, but I don't say anything. And I was just like, okay. And then she goes down a little further, and then she's like, all right, this is where Amazing Grace is going to happen, and the Emerald Society is going to do that. And then so just stay to the end, and then when we do all line up, all the uniformed people line up, I want you to line up with us, and then you'll be done. I'm like, what? and so I sort of said something. I was like, oh, which Emerald Society did you get? She's like, oh, from Las Vegas. I'm like, oh God, no. And I was not told of any of this. So apparently what happened, I asked afterwards, is that they didn't get back to them until like 2 days before the service and said, yeah, we'll send somebody. So they called me. And they didn't want to, it was so close, they didn't want to cut me, basically. So so they figured out a way to make it work without actually telling me this was going to happen. But I don't blame the funeral home. They probably didn't even know.
More bagpipes, always good. Yes.
Yeah. Like, let's do numerous groups, and like more is always better, right? Bigger is better. So then I asked, like, well, do you know who's here? Like, do you know the name of the piper you have? And they're like, oh, it's, I don't know, should I say the pipe major of the other band in town?
Beep.
I'm like, oh Jesus, the guy that hates me, right? So, or I think he does.
If it's any consolation, a lot of people dislike you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm used to it. I have broad shoulders, as you can see. So I'm like, oh Jesus. So I go to my green room, if you will, which is just the locker rooms. This was a giant field house where they play like soccer and football and stuff. Indoor field house. And
remember back in the day when the green room was a place where you could just like charge your phone and snort cocaine? Like,
oh yeah,
you
the
know,
good old days.
yeah, like the good old days.
Yeah, now it's like it's just a locker room bathroom. So I'm in there. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play. I was thinking about playing the MacLellan Chanter, because so I warmed up with that one first because I'm playing a new reed, but it's new enough where I don't trust it yet.
Yeah, but you're also like me, to where like you don't give MacLellan any shout outs that they're not paying for.
Right, yeah. So
speaking of which, this episode brought to you by the following sponsor. This episode of the Chanterant Podcast is brought to you by MacLellan Bagpipes, proudly made in North America by artesian bagpipe maker Roddy MacLellan from Eust, Scotland. At MacLellan Bagpipes, they don't strive to be the biggest, fastest, or the cheapest. They do, however, meticulously craft a small number of the best-sounding and most beautiful-looking bagpipes in the world since their beginning in 1988. Over the years, MacLellan Bagpipes has established a solid reputation for rich, warm, and stable tone, created with incredible craftsmanship and instruments of heirloom quality and unparalleled beauty. Head to BespokeBagpipes.com to learn more about their innovations like the new Elevation Chanter, which features a lower-pitched richness inspired by the classic top hand of older chanters and sustainable solutions like the Revelation Bagpipe, a Delrin instrument featuring bores lined with a cellulose polymer sleeve giving you the structural benefits of a Delrin instrument while maintaining a refined wood-like sound. Check out MacLellan Bagpipes' diverse line of instruments and learn more about their restoration work on vintage bagpipes by visiting their website at BespokeBagpipes.com. MacLellan Bagpipes, born in Scotland, made in the USA. Anyway,
so I warm up with the MacLellan Chanter, and I'm like, yeah, it's just not working for me. I don't trust it yet, so I switched to my other chanter and reed.
Is that with the Melvin reed?
It was with the Melvin reed, yeah.
I'm not sure if I like that or dislike it yet.
Yeah, I haven't made up my mind yet. Yeah, the MacLellan Chanter with the reeds we use currently, the Gilmore, was
with the Gilmores,
fantastic.
Yeah, no, they sing.
But I'm trying these Melvins to see if I like them. So anyway,
I like the Melvin because it's easier to play for sure. Mine is dead easy.
Is it? Yeah. So anyway, I start warming up about 8:30, and I texted. This is when I text you. I'm like, you're not gonna believe what's just happening.
Yep. Here I was just living my life,
and I haven't seen any of them yet. So I was like, I'm just gonna go warm up and play for a bit. So I went and did the whole dojo method, played for 10 minutes, let my pipes set for 10 minutes. Then I started tuning.
This was not even 7 days after the episode where we just
5 days.
We just took a steaming dump on this exact same group of people.
Exactly correct. Yep. It couldn't have been any more perfect if you wrote it like in a novel or something. So so I start warming up, and it's like 8:30ish or so. And so I play on and off for right up until the service. I'd play for 10, stop for 10.
I saw the video. I thought it sounded really good.
Yeah.
Heroes Tribute. Great. Wait,
Yeah.
What was the name of that tune?
A Hero's Tribute. It's called a Hero's Tribute. So
I love how now when you do the Las Vegas Bagpiper posts, you're like, it's this tune written by this person. Here's the website where you can buy the music. Here's the drone reads I'm using. Here, like, you can tell that it's just a dude that's like sick of answering stupid ass questions.
Like, hey, what are your drone reads? Like, I also
and then you get Ozzy, who every time you post a video, she's just like, "What's the name?"
she just like adds to it. So I don't know if you noticed, but I also threw in the whole. I'm using a Bannatyne bag here.
No, I saw the no leather.
Leather was used.
No leather was used in the making of this video.
Yeah, I don't know if we talked about this, but on the Discord there was a debate about how to use fucking leather, sheepskin bag, whatever.
Or like sheepskin, goat skin. It's like
how about
dude? There was such
go practice. Use something fucking you don't have to do.
Such an in-depth conversation.
It was wildly in-depth.
Like seasoning your bag and sizing your bag, and I was like, just practice more. None of that matters.
like change to something fake and just practice.
They're like, well, if I season my bag on the blood moon and I pray to Gaia, will that actually make my pipe sound better? It's like, just practice. Like,
you seen that meme where it's like, you must have done it, practice, practice. They keep this whole.
It's just
you must be so talented, practice, and all this stuff.
Also, I gotta say, and I know we consistently plug the Discord, but the Discord has been so much fun lately. Just with real. A fun combination of like deep dive bagpipe questions and also like just banter, just fucking bullshit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's been a lot going on. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, if and when I'm thinking we should bring back the Chanarant Happy Hour. If we do it, I think we'd probably do it on the Discord just to get more people in there. Because like once people get in there,
yeah, it'll force them to figure out how to use it.
Like once people get into the Discord, they have such a fun time. Mm-hmm. But assholes, if you're out there, chanarant.com/Discord.
Just use the Discord. So anyway, the funny part. So I'm sitting there warming up for a good hour, right? Because this is a huge place. It's a big deal. It's on the news, obviously.
Yeah.
I saw news cameras. Like they had the full setup cameras, right?
And luckily you got to march in from a hot outdoors into a covered stadium.
No, I was inside the whole time.
Oh, you were inside the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see me come through those doors, but that's a hallway just to the back.
When I saw that, I was like, "Oh, great! At least you get to fucking change climate."
No, that would have been a nightmare. But I was warming up all inside. So I'm just playing. I stopped playing. I'm like, they must know I'm here by now. Nobody's come to talk to me. Meaning the other band. I haven't heard them playing. I don't know how many of them there are. I don't know anything.
Were you expecting them to warm up or tune?
I thought it would be nice. I mean, you're gonna hear it as to what happens.
I forgot you have clips.
I've got clips. Yeah. Just in case the news didn't post it publicly, I actually took some video as well, but the news posted it, so I'm going to use that. So I'm like, man, like I haven't heard them warm up at all. Like, where are they?
I've only heard the clip of you playing. I haven't heard the rest of it.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, you're in for a treat.
I only heard Heroes Tribute because I was like, dude. One, I think we should bring that tune back and do like a big concert bit for it.
We could, yeah. I brought that to this band like 5 years ago.
It's a super
nobody
cool
learned
tune.
it. Nobody memorized it. It was like usual problem.
Yeah, I used to play that.
I mean, as a one or two people did. Plesky maybe knew it, and you, and maybe, but it's a great tune. So anyway, I don't hear them. It's half an hour, 20 minutes. I'm like, geez, we're getting close. I haven't heard them play at all. Are they going to go to me and be like, no, I need you to do this now? Maybe they're not. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
And you would just be like, yeah, I'm tuned and I know how to play my instrument.
Yeah. Well, exactly correct.
Like, okay, let's break this down because we have a lot of people who listen to the show who are gigging players.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this scenario, there's always like two types of stress, right? Like in a bagpiping gig scenario, you have type 1 stress, which is like I'm worried about myself and my instrument. And you have type 2 stress, which is I'm worried that the person who hired me doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
Right, sure, yeah.
So most of the stuff we talk about on this show is alleviating type 1 stress.
Correct.
A lot of the stuff we talk about is like, yeah, like if you're just... Dude, by the time I get to a gig, I'm ready to fire up and go. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Like... Don't. I'm not gonna stress in the parking lot.
Right. Exactly. I'm stressed if I get caught in traffic, but other than that,
yeah. Like other than that,
the equipment's gonna be fine,
dude. My shit's already ready to go. I already played at home or down the street or something.
Yeah, you knew what you were getting into before you got there. Yeah, for sure. So, and what about part 2 stress or whatever you called it?
Type 2 stress would be like the person who hired you for the gig not knowing the fuck is going on, and that's a different kind of stress because you can be ready to fire at any moment, but if you don't have any idea of what the fuck is happening or why, that creates a little bit of stress where you're just like, all right, I don't know that this person actually understands what like having a bagpiper at their event means.
Right. Yeah. Or they don't, or nobody will make a decision. That I come across that very often. Like, oh well, we're thinking about this. Like
a lot of it's super racist, but a lot of chiefs and no Indians, where it's just like. It's like, well, let me check with James, and James is gonna check with Christina, and Christina is gonna make sure that Allison answers her phone on just she's off today, but she might
Right, exactly. It's like Jesus Christ, this could be so simple.
Yeah, you're just like, dude, fuck.
Just let me do
like
let me do it my way.
One of you fuck to save your own species. Come on, guys. Like,
it's super annoying, but
I just need one of you dickheads to be in charge. That's all it is.
So anyway. Comes to time, like it comes to 5 minutes of or so, maybe 2 minutes of 10 or so, and they come into my room and say, all right, we're getting close if you want to go to your spot. So the spot where everybody was entering was the hallway.
And they completely disregard the janitor that was blowing cocaine up your asshole.
Correct.
Yeah,
they're used to that. They just ignored all
that. Bring boofing back again.
So there's the hallway. If you've seen the video, like you see the hallway I come out of.
Yeah,
like that's where all the honor guard are waiting, and that's where the casket's going to come through and everything, right? The
fun-
family's in there, all this, right? So, and I'm in another hallway, so I got to come over into that room. I still haven't seen anybody. I don't know what's going on. So
the funniest fucking thing was when you were walking out, and we can share a link to the video. It's a good video, dude. Rocked it. It sounded good. Like I could tell the like 2 moments where you were like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do?" Like when you first came out and like kind of slowed down and changed your step a bit.
Well, it's because I was coming through a door.
And
I had to go down.
I was just like, "All right, wait a minute." Like that might be nobody's actually telling him where the fuck he's supposed to go.
No, I knew where I was going. It was just because I had to come through a low door that I squatted and I had to like get through it, and that's why my gait changed slightly.
And I was like, yeah, like dude, fucking nailed it. Like it sounded good, it looked good.
Yeah, it was very good.
Where's our Atherton Bagpipe sponsor?
I know, right? I got lucky. You get lucky. You have those great gigs. Sometimes you have bad gigs. I have a video coming out soon that's going to be like, hey, here's something that went slightly awry. Because not everything's perfect. That's cool. So
fuck it, we're doing it live.
Exactly. So anyway, I'm going to my place. Those doors you see me coming out of, I'm coming from another room and I walk through those doors. As soon as I come through those doors, there's the pipe major on one side and a drummer on the other side. Right inside those doors. I'm like, oh, like as soon as you come through, I'm like, oh, there he is. Okay. We just sort of nod at each other, but don't speak. Right. So I'm we're standing really up against the walls here, and the family comes through first, and then they close the doors, and that's when I come out. So while I'm standing there getting ready after the family has already gone out, I'm standing there and just like, all right, here we go. And I was a little nervous, I'll admit. Like I was like, all right, this is a big deal. Like there's a lot of fucking people out there, and this is a significant event,
I would also, I would like to extrapolate on that a little bit, because the way that and one of the reasons you and I get along is the way that we look at any fucking funeral event, whether it's going to be televised or whether it's going to be $100 gig on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. It's a big event.
It's big to the people that are attending it for sure.
It's really, yeah. And I just don't know that always comes across. Like, don't get me wrong. We're pretty cavalier when it comes to telling gig stories.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But one of the reasons that we get along really well is like every one of these is important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like
whether it's going to be televised or not, whether or not you're going to show up sweating whiskey through every pore in your body.
I show up and I play, goddammit, pretty good. Today's went remarkably well. I tuned for like 4 seconds and then went in and played. And
yeah, but yours slap in.
They do. It's great.
Like I've played your pipes.
Like literally,
they slap together real easy.
Because I got there like 10 of the hour whenever I was supposed to play, and like I know I need maybe 5 minutes. Point me in a direction, give me 5 minutes to tune, and that's it. So I'm tuning up my drones outside real quick just to get them in place. And the guy comes out, like the funeral director comes out. And he's like, "You're almost late." I'm like, "Almost, but I'm not." I was just totally in a mood, right? Because I'm fucking hungover as shit. And then so we're walking
close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, bro.
Yeah. So he's kind of. I didn't know if he was trying to be funny, but I didn't get the sense he was trying to be funny about it. I just think he was.
Do you think he was trying to be a cunt?
I think so, but I'm not. I never met that guy before, so I wasn't sure. And so we're walking in, and he keeps kind of going down that road about like, yeah, we were getting worried, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I heard you, bro. Like, I got it. Like, everything's fine. I'm here. And so I literally said this to him. I don't know where this came from. I was like, I said, I said, "Hey man, I'm pretty good at this. I think we're gonna be okay. Don't worry about it."
Dude, I've had that same shit before where people like get up your ass, and it's like, bro, you hired me from 12:30 to 1:30.
Right.
So guess what? At 12:30, I'm there, and I crush it until 1:30, and then I fucking leave. Like,
Right.
like my timing is impeccable, even with my piece of shit truck, rolling down the road, all that kind of stuff. I was like, dude, like I'm gonna be there. If I tell you I'm there, I'm there.
Right.
Like, I mean, for me, 5 minutes early is on time, but at the same time, it's like, well, we weren't sure. It's like, then why did you hire me?
Right. The other part of that it was
I'm here to kick ass and play bagpipes.
Right, exactly.
Like,
well, the other part that annoyed me is they called me on Thursday, and a woman that I work with, she's like, well, she texted me. She's like, hey, I know this is last minute. Is there any chance you can show up noon on Saturday and play this? I'm like, yeah, as long as I can leave by 1 because I have another appointment. I could fit it in. She's like, great, we'll make it work, whatever. So then I get there and you give me a hard time. Like, you know that I'm coming between appointments. Like, I told you this. Like, not this guy, whatever, but like, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing you a favor by being here this quick.
It's also one of those things where I don't feel like people who don't work in a gig economy appreciate how a gig economy works.
Right.
Where
true.
it's just like, dude, like, if you hire me at 12:01, I'm gonna be there at 12:50. Like.
Yeah, like I say no to almost nothing.
I've got other shit to do.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like
I have to be able.
My day is timed really tight.
I have to be able to crush out 3 gigs, then go home and sell feet pics.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Like,
that's the thing. Like I'm coming from a lesson or a fucking dojo meeting or fucking.
Do you have any
something.
idea how much work goes into me painting my toenails and pretending they're Courtney's? Like it's. It's a huge fucking job.
Is there any money in that? Because I might need another source of income.
Granted, they probably think that my significant other has sized 13 feet, but
exactly. So anyway, back to the story. So I guess this is the point where this is one of the funny
I'm about to
things.
say also to get everyone back and on brand here. You have not had any interaction with these folks.
Not one. Walking through that door was the first time I saw them, and we're about to go out, right? Have not heard them play. They did not play, unless they played while I was playing, but I can't even imagine that's possible. But anyway, so I'm standing there ready to go out. The door's closed. They're like, all right, we're going to knock on the door. The door's going to open. You're the first thing that happens, and we'll play a bit of that. And then the pipe major leans down to me, and he's like, he says something to me, and I pull out my earplug. I couldn't hear him. And he's like, oh, what tune are you going to play? And I said, oh, I'm going to play a tune called The Hero's Tribute. And I put my earplug back in.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm thinking, don't worry, man. I'm not going to play one of the 3 tunes you know. Because they're all inappropriate for funerals, which we'll hear.
We're not gonna play Green Hills.
Green Hills, Minstrel Boy, or Amazing Grace. Don't worry about it. I think I can handle something else. But I'm sure that's why he's asking, because he didn't want to come out with the same tune I was just about to play. But which I wouldn't do, because I wouldn't play Green Hills at a fucking funeral. But
yeah, you're not gonna play Green Hills or Rakes of Mallow, so you guys are safe. Like,
oh fuck. So I want to toot my own horn here and play a bit of my performance, if you're okay with that, because we need to set up a control point. What do they call that? Like a control.
Yeah.
For the rest of the experiment.
For the rest of the experiment, yes. So
comparison.
you'll have a control group to test your hypothesis.
And you can feel free to watch the entire video on LasVegasBagpiper.com.
Are you really shilling yourself right now?
Hey man, gotta make a fucking living. You know how it goes.
I wish I knew how it went.
Well. Oh yeah, the dramatic drone intro. I do this on purpose.
I liked that.
Yeah. Like, wait, give him a little bit of drama before it starts, you know?
There's actually more drone than in this clip, because when I listened to it, there was like 45 seconds of drone.
It's a good, I wouldn't say that. It's like 10 seconds or something. But it's a long period of time, for sure. Now, the other thing when I'm coming in, I should have thought of it, but I just did not expect the echo. It's a huge room. I never played in the room that we were actually playing. So I come out and I'm like, whoa. And so that's in my head. Like,
at least it doesn't sound like shit.
No, it came out remarkably well. Sometimes you get lucky, you know what I mean?
Well, the other thing I think that is worth mentioning, and we're talking over the clip because it's a very long clip.
That's fine.
We've talked before in the past, like 3 episodes, about like the importance of executing something simple well.
Right.
Like Hero's Tribute is not a hard tune.
Not at all.
But executed cleanly with good tone, good blowing, good tuning. That's how you talk about that. That's how you elicit the emotional response that we talk about.
Correct.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. So that's a good point. That's a big part of my philosophy because it has to be quite honest. Meaning, I'm well aware that I'm never going to be Stuart Little. I started too late in life, and I don't have that kind of whatever it is that is him or any of these guys, Andrew Douglas for that matter, any of those types. I just won't ever be that. However, I do believe that anybody can produce great tone. So I'm a big proponent of pushing that because there's no dexterity to it. It's just will.
This goes back to the conversation we had on the Can't Do Attitude episode, where you had a lot of people I'll never be able to play. I think you recorded Castle Dangerous.
Yes.
And they're like, well, I'll never be able to play that well. And it's like, that's not a hard fucking tune, man.
Yeah. You can play Castle Dangerous and impress people if you can get the hair standing up on people's arms.
If you nail simple doublings and the occasional burl, you'll be fine.
Not even that. Tone and tuning. It's all that. Tone and tuning. Always,
Well, that's also was the idea.
Simplified versions.
That was the idea behind the simplified version of Lock Inside that you attempted to play at the beginning of the episode.
Right. Yeah, it's difficult. Well, that also points out the difficulty of or the importance of habit, I suppose, or the way the body works, where you create muscle memory, and then to change that is hard. We all know that, right? Pipers love to complain about that. Oh, I learned it this way, so I'm never ever going to change it. Yes,
don't even get me started on that shit.
Yes, that's a thing, but guess what? You got to learn to change.
Well, the way we always played it was blank, and I was like, cool, that's trash.
Cool, that's trash. I like that.
Okay, so you learn to play it wrong. Okay, here's how I'm telling you to play.
You want to spend 30 seconds or 60 seconds telling me the story? Okay, sure. We're going to do it my way.
It's usually like, well, when I was with the Shriners brand of South California, and I'm like, all right, you're paying me for my time, bro.
Yeah, it's wild to me. So
it's like, I'm just telling you to play it good.
Or I'm trying to give you advice as to how to be more successful at it. You know what I mean? Hey, we're gonna play a simplified version of this and play it with good rhythm, so you can learn good rhythm and then reapply and then apply the embellishments later.
I feel like that's an important thing to check up on, by the way. So how's the band getting the clap going?
I think it's helping. I think it's getting better. One, because people are now focused on it, so it's translating into the music a little bit as well. Granted, assuming their fingers can play the music that we're asking them to play, right? Like the jig transition, which is still a mess. But
the jig transition that should have been eliminated a long time ago.
I just want to do it. I'm too hopeful on that. We'll go back to the plan B or whatever.
I'll tell you what, we did have one great run where everyone else cut their chanters.
Yeah,
I don't know if you were there for that.
I'm sure I was.
Yeah, on Tuesday when it was like, oh shit, that was actually pretty clean, and I looked over and I saw both people holding high A, and I was like, son of a bitch.
Oh, that's why. Well, okay.
It's like, god damn it.
Well, it worked either way. I don't understand why. It's not that hard. Maybe it is. I don't know. What the fuck?
It's not that hard.
You just do it 17 times. No.
Wait, Sco, for our audience, would you like to illustrate the jig transition?
Sure.
Transition. That's a new word that I made up, apparently.
Let's see.
It's a combination between transition and tricks.
Right. So, what's the tune we're playing? Meeting of the Waters. The end goes like this.
Yeah.
And then we go on to the whatever.
It's not a ball buster.
No, I don't think it's just another jig tune. But for some reason,
well, and it's also I think a lot of it is the time transition, because it's all right,
it totally blows people's minds.
We're going from a 4/4 into a fucking 9/8, and it's like, yeah, what do you think a medley is, man?
Yeah, transitions happen.
I don't want to be the one to fucking blow your mind, but all of the time signatures on the tunes in our medley are fucking different. They're different time signatures throughout.
Yeah. I think this is a good point.
Technically, the first tune and the fourth tune are the same. Or no, third tune, because the pipe song's the third tune, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so technically those are both 4/4s.
Yeah. Different idiom, though. So, but this is a good point about where the dojo talks about one of their methods, or whatever, is the idea of bagpipe immersion. So listening to good bagpipe music a lot, or being involved in the scene, listening to podcasts, being focused on stuff related to bagpipes makes you a better player, right? I suspect many of our players don't listen to bagpipe music because it's like we asked them to build a rocket to the moon when we say do a jig train. Like they don't even understand what it means, like, or the rhythm for that matter. And that's why we're doing
that.
This
That was an important thing too. In the initial, where it's like, no, you're clapping the quarter notes.
Yeah, and then they look at you like,
and they're like, "Well, which ones are the quarter
What's
notes?"
a quarter note?
The ones without tails, man. Like, I don't know how else to put it.
Yep, that's true.
If you don't know which one's the quarter note, we have a more existential problem here.
Well, that's the other thing, and this is why the drummers, as you say, are. I gave them permission. Mike noticed the same issue. He's like, I want to take these guys back to the beginning. Like, we've got to sort this out because otherwise they're just going to be floundering forever. So I was like, all right. So they like go up on the board and they do on the whiteboard and they do fucking music theory shit.
Dude, that is a thing, especially after talking to Fuckface. Like, one of the things that blows my mind is, okay, in theory, you may not have to be fairly savvy at reading music to replicate a pipe tune, because you can probably get away with it.
If you actually listen to pipe music, you could.
You could probably get away with it by ear, and that's like what a lot of service band people do, is they don't actually learn to read music, they just learn to listen to music.
Right.
How the fuck you do that? How are you going to fake that shit on a drum score? Could you imagine like listening to a drum score and just being like, all right, I'll just replicate it? That would be so much harder. That would be impossible.
Well, as evidenced by our Lock and Side Castle Dangerous drum score set that they're working on, when they try to sight read it, it's like, what is going on over there?
Yeah, it's like Saint Anger, but with a floppier fish.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's a good point. Pipe band snare drums do sound a lot like Saint Anger drum, doesn't it?
Well, here's what I will say, because I don't, and I'll get schooled on this in the comments, which I'm more than willing to put myself out there for. Here's what I will say about pipe and snare drum. I have never understood how confused some of these motherfuckers look when they're playing.
Snare drummers?
And like, for me, I think the only time that I can recognize any kind of inconsistency in drumming, because I'm not educated on how to do it well enough to be able to be like, oh, you missed a flam on the third part. Like, that's just outside of my fucking lexicon. But you see physical hesitation.
Oh, okay.
And that's a thing that I notice constantly. And I'm like, wait, like, the only reason I know you fucked that part up because I saw you like physically hesitate instead of like sending it. Mm-hmm. Like on the parts that they totally know hands down, they beat the fuck out of those parts.
Right. That's true. Yeah, sure. And pipers do the same thing. When you see somebody choking,
or you see in, I would say a quick thing that's similar to piping would be like when you see drones drop because they're not,
or they start.
They're trying to cut their channel out, or they're like freaking out. Like that's a thing that, you know, even for a dumbass like me, I can catch that because I'm just like, why are you freaking
shifting
out?
around?
Yeah, like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Fucking send it. Like,
yep. Pipers do the same thing though. They play near the bottom of their reed so they can cut out like quickly, and if you know they're choking but without, or you know they're probably uncomfortable.
Or you get like bad squawks too sometimes when you're not really playing to the reed strength.
Right, exactly, that kind of stuff. Yep, same things. It's different but same. You know, so
just do what I do. Assume you piss excellence all the time.
Exactly.
At least then, the reason that you fuck up won't be because you were hesitant. The reason you fuck up will be because you didn't practice enough.
Exactly. So, I
see. Sheehan's in the fucking chat, by the way.
I saw that. Yeah, that's bad news for
everyone. Where's the rest of your clips?
So I've got another clip.
I thought we got a very good comment where someone said this episode would be 20 minutes long without Josh's interjections. I was like, yeah, that's the point.
It's the whole show, man. But you're right. You're right.
If I wanted to make a 20-minute episode, I'd go back to Williams, Arizona.
Oh, by the way, was that a horrible episode or what?
I got to stretch this shit out, bro.
Stretch it, yeah. You guys can't see it, but we got a producer over behind the camera being like,
I got to stretch.
Josh, say that thing you say all the time again.
Yeah.
Just
talk about how Nevada's awesome and people should practice more.
Use that shotgun bit. We haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
But Kelly's in the chat. Say something about shooting somebody in the face with a shotgun.
Talk about suicide more.
Guys, tell the training story. Jesus Christ. Tell Fusco got AIDS or something. So anyway,
this is all just leading up to the end of the Chain Rant podcast. I think episode 200 we end it.
We had a great discussion about ending the Chain Rant podcast last night.
I think episode 200, I think we end it. We start a new show.
Should we kill ourselves on air? Would that be the best way to end it? Just we shoot ourselves in the face with shotguns.
You know for a fact that I'm going to tell you I'm going to do it and then not.
Well, of course, yeah, you pussy.
And then I got to try to get my dog not to eat your brains that are all over
the wall.
All over the wall.
It'll make for a great wall art for the Chainarant 3.0 when you.
I feel like the new show we should still call it Chainarant and just not talk about bagpipes anymore.
Yeah, just a totally different.
Be like, well, what does the name Chainarant come from? I'm like, oh well, my great grandmother, her name was Channer.
That would work.
And my German uncle was from the Rant family, and they had a horrific but very sexual relationship. So therefore, we have Chainarant.
Right. Yeah. All right. So speaking of blowing your brains out, would you like to hear what happens right after me?
Why do we start with the nice music and end with the bad music? I would love to end on a good note.
Well, this is the order that it happened, essentially. So
wait, have we? I will agree to listen to this.
Okay.
Under one condition.
Go.
Would you be willing to debut a Shatter the Moon track at the end of this episode?
End of this episode?
And I only have one that I want to do. I want to do the Sarah Connor. I don't know what it's actually called now.
We still haven't figured out a name, so it's still called Sarah Connor. It may stay that way because we're
I would
terrible
like.
at making
I
decisions.
would like us to. I'm willing to listen to an Emerald Society playing bad bagpipes if you're willing at the very end of the show to play us out with some decent music.
I'm not supposed to release it till the 20th.
Nobody's gonna know.
Nobody listens to this show anyway.
Nobody listens to this show.
Are you willing to listen to 3 clips from the Emerald Society? I think it's important to hear all 3, but parts of them. We don't have to listen to the whole.
Should
thing.
I go get more alcohol?
Did you go through yours already?
I think I will. All right.
Do it after this one because
yeah. Send the first.
So this happens within 30 seconds of me finishing, basically. Well, a minute maybe.
Fuck's sake.
They're leading the casket with the flag draped, whole 9 yards.
How many performers?
Just one piper, one drummer. By the way, the drummer never looked me in the eye the entire time. I stood right next to him in the hallway for a good 4 minutes.
I'm assuming that's E.
For drummer?
Yeah.
No. This was somebody I didn't know. I'd never seen him before in my life. But he would not look at me. He didn't say hi. He didn't even look at me.
The drummer doesn't suck.
Drummer doesn't suck. They're not playing together, but the drummer doesn't suck. When you hear them play Minstrel Boy, I'm like, oh, the drummer's not bad. They're playing totally out of time together, but he's not bad. I was like, I'd like to get my hands on this guy and set him straight.
Not horrible tone.
Drone-wise, it's out of tune.
Yeah, that's not horrible. Like the chanter seems okay.
Yeah, chanter's actually his best thing. The chanter's actually not bad. It's just
I mean, it's cutting in and out because of nerves.
maybe. He's been playing for 15 years.
Yeah, but that's
He does police funerals all the time.
that kind of cut in and out. That's like you're shitting your pants.
You think so? Because he did the same thing at the other one. At the,
Yeah, that's a shit in your pants cutout.
Could be. So there's that.
Cut off was okay.
Yeah, cut off was
Better
right.
than ours.
We get the better attacks. They get the better cutoffs.
Yeah, the attack was shit, but yeah, the cutoff was better than our cutoffs.
Oh yeah. So that happened. So I was sitting there like I'm standing there watching this because it's all happening on this giant field, and it's not the worst. I mean, it's not the best. It's not the
Chanter
worst.
sounded good.
Yeah, chanter was good. Everything else had its issues, but
And
of course, tune choice was
the
terrible.
The drums were precisely on tempo. They just weren't playing to the bagpipes.
Right,
And the
or
bagpipes
vice versa.
weren't playing to the drums.
Yeah, they were just in the same room together. Maybe the echo through them. I don't know. Maybe because that is surprising when you walk out there and you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
it's weird.
But
But still.
dude, give me the
You play your
the most echoey room in the world. The person beating the fuck out of a snare drum 6 inches away from you, you can still hear that.
Well, yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Or you just play your feet. Like you learn that method too. Eventually, you ever done that? Like we used to play like a lot of conventions and stuff back in the day. We haven't done them forever, but you're marching and they put you on the TV, but it's like delayed by 3 seconds or something.
The thing that
and
we
you make the
used
mistake
to,
of looking at yourself and you're like, whoa, fuck, that's not where, what?
the thing that we used to have would be when you were doing a convention and you would be going between like the temporary sound walls they put in ballrooms.
Yeah.
And so you'd go like the pipers would walk through those and the drums hadn't gotten through yet. And that would always create like discord.
Chaos, yeah.
That would always be like, oh shit, like they can't hear us and we can't hear them and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You would think the fact that the beat is your foot hitting the fucking ground.
You would just go to that. But people, especially inexperienced people, get scared and confused very quickly.
Yeah.
So as soon as they can't hear it, it's like something different is happening. So then they freak out and lose their shit.
And a lot, even like the cheap casino stuff, it was always that sound wall, and that would be like every time the pipes walked by, all you could hear was pipes, and you couldn't hear any drums, and the drums would come in and like try to adjust to the beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get that shit.
Just play to your foot, man. You'll be fine.
Just fucking play to the beat, for God's sake. We got the beat. We got the beat. Go beat your meat.
All right, so another clip here. A little bit. I think this is Amazing Grace.
I'm gonna go get more alcohol and piss.
All right, let me hit play on this, and you can do that.
Am I supposed to listen to this, or
It's long enough. You'll be back in time.
I don't know. I don't think you understand how much I'm gonna piss.
You heard it. It's the same thing they did last time. I hate the squealing drone when they strike in. You want to replay it? Okay.
Here's what I'd like to start with.
Okay. I'm listening.
This flaccid D throw right in the beginning of Amazing Grace.
Here, take it. Let's listen to that again. Hold on. I hate
Oh, at least the attack was shit.
that. Yeah. I hate that drone thing that people do where they like just strike the fucker in, man. You know how long it takes to learn that? 40 seconds. Do it.
Do we want to do a bit?
Do it 60 seconds a day for a month, and you'll
We
never
can do a
have a problem
bit.
again.
We can do a bit right fucking now.
Okay, what's the bit?
I can throw my pipes together in 3 seconds.
Okay.
You've never played them,
I've never played your pipes. That's correct.
and I bet you could fucking strike them in.
I probably could. You want to try it? Let's see. This will be interesting.
Do you want a chanter or you want a plug?
It doesn't matter. I could do it either.
They don't have to be in 2.
No. So, yeah, I don't care. Chanter, no chanter.
How many strikes do you get on one arrow?
I'm not blowing. 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 sketch.
9. Yeah. I can get 8 in a row without ever having to put air into the bag.
Yeah, like it's not that fucking hard.
No. Like that's a great tip for anybody starting out on pipes is do the don't blow into the bag strike in trick. Just keep hitting it. Practice the touch of hitting the bag over and over and over again.
And not like you don't have to like beat the fuck out of it.
No, not at all. I see some people do this wild swing. Like they're
Or
doing
like the fucking, like,
they're doing a right cross. Yeah. It's wild, man. You just got to put a little effort. And this is the ultimate thing we got into last night that the reason that any of this bothers me. It's not the execute. Well, I mean, it's partly the execution, but it's not really that. It's the lack of putting any effort into it so that these things don't happen. That's what bothers me about these situations. I have nothing against service band people in general as a whole, other than it's an obvious choice not to.
Well, it's an obvious choice not to do the bare minimum.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah, and that's what bothers me about it. If I was drunk, I probably would be much more mean about it. But
Well, that'll be later. We're gonna have you drunk. Oh God, now I have to listen to this again.
you wanted to hear that D throw. Now,
Jesus fucking Christ.
they went away and came back into the room, so he could have went and retuned his drones if he heard that they were out, which is something I would have.
Oh, I
absolutely done.
thought you meant that very flat low A was them going away to a different event.
They're playing in a very cold room right now. No, they went around to the backside and came back through the doors again to do the Amazing Grace. 'Cause for whatever reason, I don't know why they did it this way, but that's what they did. So he had a good 20 minutes to go. Even if you're outside retuning, just touching up the drone a little bit would have been a good idea.
The out of tune drones, in my opinion, are not the most like egregious felon here.
Yeah, but that's the easiest thing to do something about,
Like
isn't it?
the blowing.
yeah,
Like that. That's the easiest. Like an out of tune drone would be very hard for the layman to notice. But if you're blowing like a fucking asshole, like that's a lot more apparent.
Well, it just gives the bagpipes a bad name. In the end, is like people think that's what they sound like, and then they're surprised when something else happens.
And
which I
like,
guess is good for me.
Don't get me wrong. Let's use ourselves as examples. I had a very public failure when we did the fucking Worlds Challenge thing. Where
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying I'm beyond making myself look like a jackass.
Oh, we've all done it. It's
Yeah, like I'm very. I guarantee that won't be the last time that I make myself look like a jackass when it comes to bagpipes.
right.
The thing I will say is like we're not fucking strong men.
No.
We are as fit as two alcoholics can be.
Exactly. You play bagpipes and hang out at a bar all day.
Like literally, how much of your exercise is just bagpipes and sex?
For me, like almost all of it.
Pretty much 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I do push-ups every day, but that
So like,
barely.
so two assholes who basically their entire exercise regimen is playing bagpipes and fucking.
Yep.
We don't really struggle to push air into an instrument, right? Like,
No.
and we're not healthy people.
No, not by any means.
We're both alcoholics who like Macca's and Taco Bell.
Oh my God, I love Taco Bell and McDonald's for that matter.
So you would think, that when you get to a service band, people who are straight paid to be in the best shape of their life could blow tone.
Well, do cops are they really the ones that stay in the best shape? I mean,
Yeah, but
the
service
fire
band
department guys
service
do.
band includes firefighters.
sure, but not our Elmo society apparently.
I
They're all
saw-
fighting each other.
This is completely irrelevant, but I saw the fattest fucking motorcycle cop I'd ever seen in my life the other day.
Yeah, very often cops are big dudes. Like I don't know, like they gain weight, big dudes, not like they're in shape, big dudes. Maybe because they
And-
sit in a car all day. I don't know.
And I was like, bro, that poor fucking motorcycle. Like,
Yeah. Did you see? Like I just saw in the news the other day, or in a newspaper or something.
we're both gonna get arrested. By the way, I hope
we
you,
have no. We're so screwed.
I hope you don't have like outdated tags on your fucking car.
I don't, but I will be all over that. But yeah, there's another Metro police officer, so that's the Las Vegas City Police, died from COVID-related illness just like a week ago or so. And so I looked and saw the picture of him, and of course he was a
Portly
big
fella.
fat guy. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, of course he did. Like, quite a few police officers have died related to COVID here, 5 or something like that.
Well,
There's quite a few.
and I mean, it's kind of a non sequitur because realistically, like first responders are always going to be in a little bit more danger
Well, they may be more likely to get it
because you have a lot of homeless people shitting themselves and coughing on you,
yeah, for sure.
and that's your job that you like don't make a shit ton of money for.
Right, but the fact that they're not recovering is what is interesting to me. Not that they're getting it. A lot of people are getting it and recovering fine.
Well, nobody recovers from type 2 diabetes.
Well, that's what I mean. Like if you're an overweight person and you have these other things, like that's the real question.
My point would be, we're not the most fit people.
No, but we're not over. Well, I'm mildly overweight. You're probably not very much at all.
We're not the most fit people, and we have very little problem pushing consistent air through a bagpipe.
Yep.
It's not like
not a physical thing. It's
not a thing that
it's a
like
skill.
you don't have to be fucking Jer Bear.
No, not at all. You could that could be a problem actually. You push too hard.
I'm amazed anytime that he actually takes a breath and squeezes his bag.
The whole
That
thing
all the
doesn't
drones don't just fucking fire
blow
out, just fire off in multiple directions.
It's the bagpipe.
For some of our listeners who
Bomb.
don't know Jer Bear personally, when I make jokes about his fucking bicep being as thick as my head, I'm not fucking joking. It is literally as thick as my head.
Yeah.
That dude. One time I got stuck and I just had him pick up my truck and move it.
Remember when he blew out his tricep lifting weights? The connecting whatever tissue back here.
No, that was
he
his
had to have
tri.
surgery.
Yeah.
Because he ripped his tricep off the bone because he was lifting so much weight. Like, dude, maybe it's time to. He's like 40 years old. Like maybe it's time to like slow down. On that
He's
a
like,
little
well, I ripped my tricep, and I was like, well, what were you lifting? He was like 900 pounds. I'm like, are you fucking
bit.
kidding
Like, dude,
me?
that's not. We're not designed to do that.
He saw one trailer for the Master Chief in Halo and decided like that's gonna be.
I'm
me.
gonna be that guy. And he's already grown to 7 feet tall, so he might, he just willed himself to 7 feet tall. So here, I
But-
want to end this well.
Oh Christ!
Here is the ending of the funeral service. This is the last thing that gets played.
Okay.
And pay attention to the drums on this one. I don't know what time signature they're in, but So this goes on and on and on like this. I think he only plays Mr. Boy.
I would like to adjust some of my earlier opinions.
Sure.
So I think that some of the things that and you can tell me if I was mistaken, are some of the things that I earlier thought were chanter cutouts actually just the drum overwhelming the microphone, and that's...
No, they're cutouts.
They're cutouts?
Yeah, I was there. I heard it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that would be my biggest thing, is just like the chanter cutting it out. And honestly, when it's being actually blown, it's tuned well.
The chanter's not bad at all. Yeah.
Like, it's tuned well and it sounds good. It's just the blowing is dog ass.
Yeah, and the drones aren't right.
No.
So the tuning of the chanter is fine. The drones are not
that
tuned
little
to the
that
chanter.
little bit there was absolute.
Oh, I missed that. What do you do? Oh, that they cut out.
And just like the chanter just wildly.
It's all over the place. Yeah. It's like. Wow. So,
And the drum. Yeah, guess what, drummers? I didn't forget about you. The drum is fucking garbage. Let me tell you why. While it is the sheet music played at the tempo the drum is playing, it has absolutely no interaction with the bagpipe, which is the instrument that everyone's actually there to hear.
Yeah, like try to stay with your piper, even if he's fucking it up, I guess.
Play together, dude. Like that's play together.
He was doing some fancy shit.
The drums,
like those rolls with the accent.
The drums
should
be playing to the pipes, which should be playing to the drums, which should be playing to the pipes, which should be playing to the drums.
Right, and then don't speed up.
That's how you create unison. If you just feel like, oh well, I'm just gonna, it's 80 and I'm playing 80. Cool. Book some solo gigs as a drummer.
As a
fucking asshole.
Scottish snare
like, yeah.
So that was my Thursday. That was last Thursday.
When I die, probably very soon, because I'll be killed by service band members. Guess who we're not paying to have? Fucking snares.
They're so loud. So as we're leaving this event,
wait, what are snares?
They're loud.
Wait, hold on.
Try to give instruction.
What are snares like?
Hey everybody. What I want to say. So, can we please just tippity tapper, motherfucker? Yeah, no. So, so we're leaving the event, right? So I thought to myself, maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe they just never had a chance to say hi, or at least be polite and just acknowledge your existence, right? Which I would have done. I nodded at Jason when we first got there. So we're walking out. They're walking in front of me, about 15 feet behind them, going out the doors. They immediately go to their car and leave. Do not turn around to say anything. Do not look at me. Do not hold the door for me when I'm.
You
when
wouldn't have turned around either if you played like that.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
You would have been like beeline.
I don't. Maybe you might be right about it. That. Could be part of it. I was just thinking like I would be social. I would be like, hey, nice to see you again. Blah blah. Like even if you're lying, you'd just be fucking. Hey, we're all pipers here or whatever. But
I pretend to like people all the time. What do you think this show is?
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. So yeah.
Skill. Do you have anything else you have to get to on your show notes?
Nope. That's the last thing I got to get to.
Well, then I say close us out, man. Tell us your final thoughts.
Final thoughts would be this. Hold on. Let me get this set while I'm thinking about that.
That means he's doing a bit.
No, I'm getting our playout music because you wanted playout music.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I just want very specific playout music.
Yeah, I got it. So my final thoughts are this. Okay, service band guys, I know you think we or maybe I hate you. I don't know if people come up to you and say give you shit about shitting on service bands. Every once in a while I do. It's not that, man. I just want you to do better. Like, it's not because I hate you as a person or think, I mean, you are a disappointment as a piper, but like, you're a decent, maybe a decent human being. I don't know. What the fuck do I know? Like,
I literally almost did a spit take.
Like, just like Doug Stanhope once said, like, about the troops, like, talking about firemen and police, like there's dickhead people in those crews too. Like not everybody, like everybody has dickheads, right? So the fact that you're a fireman or police does not negate you from being a
as
possible asshole.
as an aspiring service band player.
Yeah. Good luck with that. I can't wait till they interview and they find all this internet
shit,
background.
yeah.
So, but anyway, hey man, just like learn to play.
I'm just gonna be like, hey,
put some effort into it, and then
hey,
we won't show.
don't get me wrong. I know that I'm an asshole, but I'm good at my job, and I'll make your band better.
Right. Sure. There's quite a few people like that are in the dojo, right? And there's quite a few people that maybe are not the best players, but you know what they are doing? They're putting effort into it, and it's never like I would never think twice about those people and as giving them a hard time or whatever. It's like you're obviously putting a lot of effort and you care about what you're doing. It doesn't have to take over your life. It doesn't have to be your number 2 priority.
I would still fuck with them,
but it should be on your list.
Just because most of the people that you're dealing with, especially at the level that you teach at the dojo, like they actually can take a ribbing.
Yeah, most of them can.
Like most of them are like really fucking cool, and you can give them shit, and they'll give you shit back, and they're just like they get it, right? Like that's a hard thing.
Pipers generally do that. Yeah,
that's a hard thing to get over time.
Unless you have a massive ego from your day job, I suppose.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, like spoiler alert, everyone's gonna tell you your shit.
Yeah. It's just
that's part of it. Like,
and that happens in other musical.
Just tell them to go fuck themselves and have fun. Yeah. Like that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And I think the dojo specifically, chanarant.com/suckless. I think the dojo specifically actually does a really good job of like bringing together people who kind of get it.
Right.
And I think they get it more so than like your in-person students types.
Yeah, definitely.
But
yeah.
I don't teach anymore, man,
Bagpipe
because
students,
it fucking drives me nuts.
It is difficult mentally. I mean, it's not physically obviously hard. You're sitting in air conditioning telling people how to waggle their fingers in a certain direction, but it can be mentally draining at times for sure. So yeah. Anyway, do you have any thoughts about what we talked about here today? I don't even know what we talked about.
Well,
I was
going to let you end on final thoughts.
Oh, you want me to end it?
Yeah. I feel like I don't give you enough airtime.
Jesus Christ! I never should. That's all I do is talk on this fucking Are you all butthurt over whoever said something about Josh's intervention or whatever he said?
I just think, given the topics at hand, you're probably.
Oh, you just want me to sink myself. That's you. More airtime means more shit I could say wrong.
You were fucking there. I wasn't.
That's true. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no. Just
try
harder, man.
You were fucking there, bro.
Put it on your list. That's my goal for 2022 to help service band members put playing bagpipes on somewhere on the list of priorities in your life. Not like as an afterthought.
Oh wait,
no more
fuck.
hashtag no more afterthought. How about that?
I do have a final thought.
Do it. I'll play the music.
It is that all of these people that play that, like, if you're actually a cop, fire, or EMS provider, every part of your day job is far more complicated than playing bagpipes.
Right. If you can do that, you can do this.
Like every part of your day job is so much harder than playing bagpipes.
No, I suppose it's. Oh, geez, we're gonna go. I'm not gonna add to that. Go ahead, because we'll go down. It'll take us another 20 minutes.
It took me multiple tries to pass like my certs. So
sure,
and it was harder than playing pipes.
Yeah, took more time anyway. Well,
it was also more difficult.
Yeah.
So there you go. Like, you're already good at shit that is not rewarding. You might as well enjoy some bagpipes.
Maybe you got into it for the right reason. Like, hey, I'm going to do something rewarding with my life. Give back to society and community, and then I'm a cop and I hate life because homeless people are fucking obnoxious.
You're already really good at a shitty job, so you might as well become an amazing bagpiper.
Yeah, like get some joy out of life. Be a good bagpiper. Hashtag get some joy. We got all new hashtags going on here.
All right, man. Send some metal.
All right, here we go.
They're still going to be able to see us. That's the only way they'll hear it.
Okay. Coming soon to a store near you, the new Shatter the Moon album. Here's Sarah Connor. Thanks for listening to the Channerin Podcast. Now we're playing
this episode brought to you by Shatter the Moon.
Their new album coming out September 20th.
Check out Cunt Wipe, Shatter the Moon's new album, coming September 1st. Follow them at Shatter the Moon on all social media platforms and OnlyFans.
We gotta get in on that sweet OnlyFans money before it all goes away.
One of you guys are gonna have to show your dick. It's the only way.
It's gonna be Zach then.
Does he have a big hog?
I have no idea, but he's half black, so.
Which half?
That's a good question.
That's what. I don't know, man. Lou plays like he's got a big hog.
He might. He does.
Pump it.
I don't want to blow your ears out.
Blow him the fuck out. Buddy, all I do in my free time is shoot guns and play bagpipes. Blow him out.
Holding on to life, guess you should have seen it coming. Deception in disguise, only way to keep it running. What's that mean? Use it up and throw it on the floor. Then you had to ask for more. It's so green, takes and eats some fruit from off the tree. Left it with nothing, it's not like it's supposed to be.
Should have thrown a bell in there.
It's gonna be hilarious if we get taken down for playing your own music.
That would be funny. It's not out yet, so it can't. Oh, we should have had the bell for that. You can see us live soon, somewhere. Just shit myself.
Oops, a little bit.
There you go. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Catch you all in the next episode of the Chan Rant Podcast, which hopefully will be the last.
Every day is our last.